And we are back, GC here come after some more content. Today we'll be going over the award legacy. I did one more list. Ended up going 8-1. Hit a snag in the first game and then went on 8-game win streak. So let's pull up the list. The reason you're actually here for. And here we are. We have a mashup of Ward Legacy, Scrap, Orcust, and Danger. Mostly WorldLegacy Orcust. I was playing more of the WorldLegacy cards. They'd be kind of clunky, so I got the Danger to kind of like dump them, as well as kind of like fix those hands, smooth it out a bit. And I'm really using Scrap Recycler, which is actually amazing in this deck, actually. Very critical. And I guess I'll do a brief rundown on the cards, try to do as fast as I can. Or the Orcust cards, we'll start with those. The Orcust cards, what they do is essentially they'll have an effect that summons another Orcust. You banish an Orcust from your graveyard and summon another, but where you can summon differentiates. For instance, Orcust Brass Bombard. You banish him, you can summon an Orcust from your hand. Skeleton lets you summon an Orcust from your graveyard, another Orcust. Horror is the best, and you can see he's limited and even in the standard format because he lets you summon an Orcust from your deck, which is fantastic. Nightmare actually doesn't summon. What she does, she target a card in the field, and then you get rid of a machine monster from your deck there to the graveyard, and then it'll gain attack points equal to that machine monster's level times 100. But the key thing in this deck is you don't really care about that effect. I mean, it's good, but being able to throw your cards in the graveyard and get their value effects is very nice. And the majority, aside from the dangers, actually, are all machine monsters. Scraps the Secular, one summon, lets you, in this deck, lets you throw away a machine from your deck to the graveyard. Then you start off a lot of combos. Alright, and then we have WorldLegacy World Chalice. Yeah, pretty solid card. The main thing we wanted for is the fact that when it's in your graveyard, you banish and get a WorldLegacy from your card. Shield lets you summon itself to the field. When it's in your graveyard, you can summon it, pay 1,000 life points, summon it every turn. I mean, standby phase, on either stand. That can be your opponents as well. Keep in mind, it will allow them to summon a card from their graveyard or their hand as well. So, timing really matters when you use this one. And your board state situation, but yeah. Crown's cool. Crown can summon itself, special summon itself to a place a link zone points to. Crown's also a negate effect. When a monster has special extra deck activates effect, you can tribute Crown and go ahead and negate that effect. So that is really nice. Oh, also destroy. It's negate and destroy, so even better. WorldLegacy Armor. Armor's cool. When he's summoned or special summoned, you can draw another WorldLegacy card for a relevant effect. Arc's a beautiful one on this deck. Arc's okay, it does protect one of your link monsters, as we play many of them. So that's pretty solid for that. Lance, when your opponent's battling, will when your link monsters, you can make them lose 3,000 attack, which is really good. Also, if a monster special summon from the extra deck, you can summon one WorldLegacy token. And the tokens are great for link summoning. Wand's probably the best. Wand enables a lot of plays. He'll let you. So when it's sent to the graveyard, you can special summon and a WorldLegacy monster from your hand to the field. And when he's in your graveyard, you can banish him. Take one of your banished Orcust cards back, so you're able to constantly recycle. Harp Horror, for instance. Much value off of that. Alright. Survivor's insane in this deck, because let's just activate 5 cards. You can grab a WorldLegacy, you can draw it and store the rest in your graveyard, which can enable a lot of nutty plays. Extra return's fantastic. Send one Orcust or WorldLegacy monster from your hand, or face of the field, draw 2 cards. In this kind of deck, this is kind of sometimes feels like Pot of Greed, but better. Typhoon, back row sucks. Rin Chalice, 2 lost wins. Effect negates, always good. And let's see, WorldLegacy Landmark, you banish one WorldLegacy monster from your hand or from the field, face up of course. Target 2 monsters in your graveyard, special summon them, but they cannot attack. Fantastic. And WorldLegacy Secret just lets you revive a level 5 or higher monster in your from your graveyard. Let me use Dark Arm Dragon, comes up a lot. Keep in mind, nothing that I should mention that's very critical in this deck. The Orcust cards can lock you into dark only monsters, but I mean we made our special, our extra deck everything's dark. So we just made it that way, just to kind of subvert that. But just keep that in mind if you want to change anything, that you will be able to play them, just if you use an Orcust effect, you get locked into dark monsters that turn. Dragoobleon, the combo that everyone's been using, works in this deck as well. And then we have some good. Pentstag's nice because it gets you have piercing if it's linked to a thing. Triple Burst Dragon's negate effect has come up quite a bit. And then Berserker the Tenyi and Orchestron. Man. Anyway, 2 effect monsters, blah blah. But basically, Orchestron, when he's linked, can have a sort of battle card effect. You can also recycle some of your banished machines. 3 of your banished machines, send them back into your deck. And then something that's linked gets its attack reduced to 0. Only opponent's monsters. So pay attention to those arrows. You want to link him. Typically, you get that advantage over there. And that is the deck. Let's get into that gameplay.